Hi, this is Troy at Chick-a-Woof Ranch. This is the chicken plucker. I've been working on it for a couple weeks, and I just put the proper belt on it, and I wanted to show you what I have before I put it all back together and see if it really works. So apologize for not making any videos for the past couple weeks. I've been working on this, and of course we've had 8 baby goats this season, and that all happened in the last couple weeks, so we've been really busy with the baby goats, and actually I hatched out some chickens again a few days ago, so and some today. So anyway, what I wanted to do was I got it together, I turned it on to make sure it wasn't going to explode, and everything seems to be working good. And I wanted to put together the bucket with you on the video and just see how it goes. And yeah, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to put the actual the table on this, and before I put the bucket on, and see if it's centered correctly and if it's not going to fly off of there. So let's do that now. All right, before we put the spinning wheel of death on there, I wanted to kind of give you a kind of a walk around of what I have here. So I got the motor. I believe it is a 1/4 horse motor, and I got it from actually my mother. She had it in her barn, and I think she's had it for a while, so she gave it to me. Most of everything that you see here is built out of scraps or what I had laying around, with the exception of a few things. But I bought the 4x4 posts, and what I did with those is, if you can see, yeah, you can see there, I chamfered off that side, I think that's the proper term, so the barrel will fit down inside of each one of those is done. So the barrel will fit down right inside there. And the barrel has a hole where the post goes in right through there. And I did buy that pulley off of Amazon. It's a 12-inch pulley. And I wanted to change this pulley out to a smaller one so it would slow down the speed a little bit, but I, for the life of me, cannot get that pulley off of there. I could probably buy a tool to pull it off, but right now I'm trying to figure out if this is really gonna work. So we'll leave that on there for now. As you can see what's going on here. I'll get around to the back side here. I'll show you how everything's attached. So there's my one of the bearings, and that one's also attached very securely. And then there's also a bearing right up here. So really, I went with a really simple design. I didn't want to overcomplicate it. And so yeah, if you're in the market to build one, you definitely can watch the rest of the video and see if this is going to work for you. But this is, this is what I put together from what everyone else had done. And I did it, as simple as I could with what I had. Obviously I had to buy the belt. That took a couple tries. I went to the automotive store twice. I thought I measured it correctly, but evidently you have to add 2 inches to whatever you measure. So eventually it worked out okay. And that's just a lawnmower quality belt. I don't know if that means it's better or worse than an automotive belt, but It's kind of expensive. So, all right. So, well, you know what I could do? Let me plug it in and let you show it running just the way it is now. Hold on just a second. Hi, buddy. All right, so I'm gonna plug it in here, and can you stand back a little bit, buddy? You stay right there. All right, I'm gonna plug it in with one hand and hold the camera with the other. Yeah, scary. So there it is, running. Like I said, I just plugged it in today. Got the belt on. And there you go. Okay, so now we're gonna put that on, and then I'll show you how it runs. Okay, so I wanted to show you, I've got this is the bottom of the barrel that I cut out as the platform. It's got this, I don't know what they used it for in the barrel, but probably for strength or however they poured in the mold. But that was a little bit of concern of mine, but we'll see how it works. So the only part that I had a little trouble with, and I had some friends help me out with, and thank you Jerry and Chris for helping me out on this. I took this collar that I got mounted on both sides. You can buy those at Tractor Supply. And I also got this, I think that's called a collar also. But it just mounts onto the rod, and it's got the 2 set screws. Well, I had to have Jerry turn down this collar to fit inside of the other collar, and then I had Chris weld it up for me. So thank you guys for doing that. So let's go ahead and get it on. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna plug it in and see what happens. So like I said, this is the first time, so if something happens bad, then you will see it on camera. All right, let's try it out. All right, here we go. All right, well, it looks like it's working pretty good. It's a little wobbly, and it looks like if you can tell, it looks like the fingers are kind of spreaded out with the centrifugal force. So I think that's okay. I think we're good. So let's go ahead and get the barrel on, and we'll try it that way also. All right, stand by. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna put the barrel on. Here it is. This is a 30-gallon barrel. I went with the 30 because of the motor that I have. I only had a 1/4 horsepower, and I wanted to make sure that the motor that I had could handle everything. So I only went with a 30-gallon barrel. I got the barrel locally. It actually had Dr. Pepper in it, and it still smells like Dr. Pepper. It's pretty nice. Anyway, it's got all the fingers in it already, as you can see, and it's got the hole cut in the middle. I tried to put a grommet in there, but I could not. It binds up the shaft too much, and I wanted to have it turn freely, and so I just left the grommet off, and whatever water comes out through the shaft we'll just have to deal with. But I went with somebody else's design online, and I just have one exit for the water and the feathers. So we'll see how that works, and I'll show you how that works here in a minute. Let's get this barrel on, and we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. So I just have the barrel mounted to the 4x4 post just with some decking screws. So I've got 6 deck screws, 3 in each, so that would make 12. 12 deck screws in there, and all right, so now we got to put in the wheel of death there. All right, so there's our shaft down there. Get you focused here. Okay, so then just kind of put it in sideways here. Push it down in there. Hi, buddy. And it's on. All right. So now I just gotta put the set screws on there, and then we'll try it out. All right. Hold on. All right. Another reason I went with this design of the one exit was you can stick your hand up in there and set that screw, those 2 set screws, with one hand. So I'm not going to be able to do that here with the camera, but this is another kind of way I thought out the whole thing. And so yeah, let me get that set and then we'll go from here. All right, so I got the set screws in there, and I've got my camera on the tripod here, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in, and we'll see how the finished product works for the very first time. All right, so let's plug it in. Little dust. Wow, I think it's gonna work awesome. What do you think, buddy? Is it gonna work? What do you think? Yeah, that's an ouchie. All right, Mr. White, what are we gonna do next? Well, what we're gonna do next here is I need to build some sort of guard for this pulley, so we don't accidentally get some hair caught in there or a pant leg or something. So I'm gonna get a piece of plywood and kind of make a little ramp. It'll kind of keep the water off of the motor also, so hopefully. So yeah, what do you think, buddy? I think it's gonna work. So anyway, so pleased with the project so far. I apologize for I wanted to bring you along as I built it, but since I am a new YouTuber, my skills in fabrication are sketchy at best, but I find myself wanting to think things through more than actually doing, but once I actually figure out where to start, it's really not hard from there for me. But it was hard to get started on this project, and getting all the parts and pieces together was difficult also. Some of these things I just didn't have laying around, like the fingers. Of course, those came off of Amazon also. I think they were $60 for 150 of them, something like that. Anyway, I have quite a few left over. I probably used a little over half. Anyway, oh, another thing about this motor that I'm gonna have to be careful with. If you've noticed, it's got these oiling points right here on the sides. Well, that's not gonna, I think this motor is not really intended to be ran vertically like you see here. So we'll have to, when we're running this, be sure to tip it over every once in a while and put some oil in there. So when I'm building my guard, to keep people from getting hurt by the belt, I will have to make a hole so we can get oil into that guard. or into the oiling point. So I guess that's all for now. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't whip up something up for a guard here, and we'll go from there. Oh, I just about forgot something. Here is one of the most important features of this is my 5-gallon bucket here. So what I've done, if you can see, I put a bunch of holes in this 5-gallon bucket, and it fits right underneath here. And what the bucket will do is when the water and the feathers come out, they'll go into the bucket, and it'll keep the feathers from getting all over the yard, and will be a little cleaner that way. It'll be less cleanup. And so that's another idea I stole off of YouTube, borrowed from YouTube. So thank you, YouTube community, for that. I think that's going to work out great, because if you've ever tried to pick up a couple million feathers out of your grass, that doesn't happen really. So, all right, well, let me get that guard on and we'll get back to you. All right, so I found an old piece of hinge, piano hinge. I think it actually said, I think it was like a 6-foot piece, and I bought it for $1.95 sometime. Anyway, I found this piece laying around, so this will give us a little flexibility with the oiling points. So I'll put a piece of plywood on here, and that way, if we ever need to get to the motor, we can easily just rotate it up. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, so here's what I ended up with. Just ran some bolts through a piece of plywood, and now you can lift it up and access the motor. And I also put this 1x1 blocking in here to keep the plywood up off of the pulley here. So there's about a 2-inch clearance there. So I think that should be good. All right, so here we go with the final test. I've got a 2-liter bottle in here with, it's mostly full of water. I think it kind of felt about like a dead chicken. So anyway, let's plug it in and try it out. I've got my safety glasses on, so not sure what's going to happen. This is an old 2-liter bottle. It may break apart. I don't know. Let's check it out and see. All right, here we go. Let me get my extension cord, and here we go. Okay, so that didn't work. So let's get it rolling. Let's get it started, and then we'll throw it in and see what happens. Again, didn't work. All right, let me turn it off. I may need to put more fingers down low. It looks like it's getting caught in these gaps here. So I may put a few more fingers in. Let's do that. All right, so looks like we need one here and over here. So I'll show you how I've done this. This is just a 3/4 inch paddle bit, and then these were what the fingers look like. And if you've never done this before, pulling all of these through in one day will make your hands hurt. It is a lot of work, and they are super tight to get in there, but obviously you don't want them to come out. So, and they are terrible to get back out, so absolutely terrible. So I wouldn't advise trying to get them back out. All right, so let's cut one here and and I'll show you how to pull it through. Got one there, and it's like one here. So you just take it, hook it through the back side, and then mostly you just kind of pull down on it really hard, and then just kind of work it back and forth until it pops in there, or just like that. And we'll do this one. And I'm looking at it, and there's one over here on the other side I need to do. Okay, so there's one there, and I'm going to put one back over here on this side. So I don't know if you can see that, but I'll turn the camera off and do that one, and then we'll try the bottle again. Alright, here we go again. I'm definitely going to try the throwing it in while it's going, because that's probably what we'll be doing. So I'm going to turn it on here. And then we're going to drop it in. And it got stuck again. Well, you know what? I'm going to try something a little different. Maybe I might get a towel and wrap it up with some rubber bands and soak it down. Maybe that would be more like a chicken, because this is not really like a chicken, obviously. So it's putting black marks on the plastic. All right, well, let me think of something else, and I'll get back with you. Stand by. Okay, so I thought of something here. When we do the chickens, you spray them down with water, so you're kind of using the water as a lubricant to pull off the feathers. So we're going to try that too. What's probably happening here is the bottle is sticking to the fingers, because the fingers are made out of rubber, obviously, and they're kind of grabbing on to the bottle. So if we use the water as a lubricant, let's see if that will help. So we're set up outside, as you can tell. It's another windy day in Kansas. So I'm gonna turn it on and turn on the water and throw the bottle in. So here we go. Hold on. Oh, well, it did a little better, but you see what's happening here is they're going up, still going to the side. Got the hose there, it was spraying us. That's awesome. Looks like you got a little something right there. All right, so well, let's try it again just to make sure, let's try it again. Okay, I put 4 more of the fingers in, and so let's try it again. Again, sorry about the wind noise. try something else. Alright, so I got a towel and I wrapped it up. I predict that it's going to come apart on us, but it's a little more squishy and flexible like a chicken would be. So let's try it. Alright, I'll plug it in and let's go. Alright, take your bets on what's going to happen. Okay, well you can see that still had some problems with the towel, so I think what's going on here is that, for one, I think the electric motor is underpowered. Like I said, it's a 1/4 horsepower. I think it probably has to be at least a 1/2 or a 3/4 horse, so I'll look into maybe swapping with somebody or upgrading, I'm not sure. And also, I'm sure it would help if I had a smaller pulley on this end that would slow down the wheel from turning. I don't know how much it would slow it down, but getting the smallest pulley I can would probably help quite a bit. I guess I'm gonna have this is gonna be a 2-part series video, so stay tuned to see what's gonna happen. If you have any suggestions or comments that might help, please let me know. Just write down below, and if you want to private message me too, that's fine. So, alright, well, thanks for watching the video, and thanks for helping if you can. And we will get this running no matter what, because we've got some meat chickens that we've got to butcher at the end of April, which is in about 3 weeks. So we'll have to figure this out before then. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.